All right, we're back with another review here at Total Toy Recon. If you're watching this in 2025, no, I did not just pick this Indiana Jones Adventure Series figure up. He's been sitting on a stack of things that I've been wanting to get to, and I needed to find about two other things, and they will make an appearance briefly later on in the video. So let's get to it. So this is from the Indiana Jones series, Adventure Series, that came out during the last Indiana Jones film, and Dial of Destiny. It was a one-timer for me. I was a little disappointed. I'm not the biggest fan of the movie. I understood what Ford and James Mangold was going for. I understood that. Personally, for me, I was just excited that Indiana Jones figures were going to be back, and I knew that Hasbro was definitely going to strike, as well as Lucasfilm and Disney, strike on, we got to get some of the old stuff out that we didn't get to do, or got a crappy release back in 2008. So it was very fun, very interesting, and thrilling for me as a toy collector to pick some of these up. However, and a fan of Indiana Jones, that is. However, it was difficult to actually find some of these. They were very difficult. I was fortunate enough, I cannot remember if I actually paid $16.09 for this figure or not. I was thrilled to actually find him. So to actually get him at a somewhat normal price, originally, I believe we have it here at $22.99. I thought this is a chance to get him. However, this is part of the now defunct plastic-free packaging that came with a lot of the Indiana Jones figures. You couldn't really get a look at what you were buying. Are his eyes crooked? Are they painted bad? He could sit literally in this box for all time, and it'd be one of those things that, 50 years from now, it's on, whatever the version of Antique Roadshow is, and then the guy finally opens it up, and it's like, it's the wrong figure, and they're all together. You could literally have that right now. Don't know. So when the series did come out, Sala, Major Arnold Tote, Marion, Indy from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy from That Room, and then Renee Belloc. All good figures. Probably would have hunted for them more. Initially, I thought this was going to be something, but I had gotten away from the Black Series of figures for Star Wars because, quite frankly, I was bored with it. I didn't think it was that great after a while, and to be honest, it was impossible to collect them all, and I just kind of got fed up. So today, we are going to break out this Indy and a couple other little surprises and see exactly how good he is. Is a little bit different of a review here, kind of a retro review, but in 20 years, you're, logging into YouTube and checking this out, and you're gonna be like, oh, look, this guy got one, and it was the wrong figure inside the box, and everybody wanted to watch it, but I don't know. So let's find out. Okay, so we're gonna slide him out of the box here, and this blind packaging is unique. It's kind of cool. You get all the artwork. You don't really get a bubble. I mean, it is just a picture. I do love this fantastic artwork design here. And I like that you get everything in here. It also tells us that he's 6.2 inches tall. We're going to slide him out. And nothing in there. We'll set this off to the side. I love the box. I got to be honest. I think the box is really cool. Here is the staff with the headpiece of Ra. It says it's 6 fathoms high, or 72 inches. What we got here? Ooh, I'm loving this. I'm not sure how to get this out without breaking things. I know I'm supposed to get a shovel and some rope and all the cool stuff that's supposed to go into this. Okay, so this is... So, I'm loving this matte paper. Very, very cool from Hasbro to do this. A little extra touch. It could have just been white paper, but here we have a shovel. Not too bad. Shovel. And then we've got the notebook, which, great. And then the rope. So it's pretty much just rubber rope. It's not like rope itself. I never had, in full disclosure, I never had the original Kenner one from so long ago. I always wanted that as a kid. My parents were very focused on Star Wars toys. So despite it being Kenner and despite it being, they got me the Lone Ranger toys, which were along the same lines with the points of articulation and everything, but never ever got an Indiana Jones figure. So this was cool for me. And then this bag here, and oh, look at this. We actually did get an Indiana Jones. So cool. So as we can see, I'm just going to try to peel away some of the layers. We've got the mustard mustard gas mask bag that Indy has. No little nozzle here to show that it was one of those bags from World War One. I may be just nitpicking, but we've got the shoes here, the kangaroo hide shoes. I know way too much about Indiana Jones, I think, because I'm talking about his clothes and what his bag are and stuff. So, got joints here. Nice. It's interesting that there's no whip. So we have no whip underneath. No whip here on the side. Now, granted, he's supposed to, dress to blend in, but I think the face is pretty solid. Pretty solid there. Get a little zoom in, kind of show you what's going on. Face is pretty solid. I'm digging it. I think it looks like Harrison Ford. I mean, how many Harrison Ford action figures do I have? Probably more than I should admit, but a decent figure. So this is, you kind of have to wonder, like, does he have the shovel in one hand like this? Obviously we have the notebook, which is pretty solid. I really got to like that. I wish the bag was open that you could stick the notebook inside. That'd be a nice little touch, Hasbro. I'm sure somebody probably considered it at one point. The rope should probably be like that. But I can see why they didn't put the rope on the packaging, for the figure, because it would blend in very well. So it's kind of nice to have it. Sala. So I think our ideal Indiana Jones thing would be, you'd want to do this, and if you can bring it in, turn the wrist enough that you want it, set it up that he would be holding, the staff with two hands, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think it'd be better if we had it in this hand over here in his right hand, and then we could do this. And it's almost like I can hear the music in my head, which is really creepy. It's a little hard to get this in here. Part of it is that this cloak here, part of his jacket or his thing, is not so, there we go, giving. You want to make sure that thumb comes over here a little bit. So there he is, notebook in hand. We'll put this over here, and trust me, I will make him look better than that. So we put the notebook here in hand. We're getting the pose from the box itself. And ideally, that's a pretty solid figure. The movie means a lot to me personally. So to have this kind of figure, really, really solid choice. So I'm going to pull some of this stuff away here. I love the bags. I love the accessories. So, my first takeaway is it really looks like Harrison Ford. Give you some scope and some scale. He's slightly taller than a 6-inch Boba Fett. This is the archive collection from the Star Wars Black Series, so he's a little bit taller than him. Decent. Here is an Endor Han Solo from the original Kenner line, 375. And then I thought, one of the things that I was looking for forever so that I could do a funny part of this review is to give you Kermit the Frog as Indiana Jones. Not a bad figure from Diamond Select. Decent figure. Really, really fun. What a great collection to the thing. But when I thought about it, when I was really looking at this figure, and believe me, the figure's blowing me away. It is really neat. The thing that really got me was there's no play set. There's no map. There's no play set. There's no map room. And then, by luck would have it, I happened to pick up this from Diamond Select Toys. So this is Diamond Select Toys. This is their jumbo figure. Diamond Select and Gentle Giant had released this when the movie had come out, The Dial of Destiny. And I thought, great, fantastic. Indy is not in the right costume. And I know they just repackaged their jumbo Indy to include it this way. But I still thought, you know what? This suddenly feels more in tune. So as you can see that, and I will try and zoom into that, Diamond Select gave us a great addition to this figure and playset. So now we have the map of the entire city. We have Indy here, And this seems more to scale than the giant jumbo figure. It just felt like the 6-inch figure would be better. So that was one reason why I held out for so long to try to do this review, because I was looking for all of these little pieces and weird things that I thought would be a lot of fun to add to the review and to make it slightly more entertaining. So kind of gives you, even Kermit the Frog at that point of view is really fun. So I thought this would be a lot of fun to do it this way. And to show you that the Gentle Giant Diamond Select map is perfect. So if you do have it, it works with your 6-inch Indy from the Adventure series. An Indy worth picking up. He really does look like Harrison Ford. Kind of wish I would have gotten some more of them. I did get a lot of the 375 line. Actually, I got them all, which is amazing to me because it took me forever. And I think I got them all in the store. The last one I had to get was on Amazon. And that was an Amazon exclusive, so it worked out very well. But this map room is perfect for your 6-inch Indy. All you need is a little sand and, do a little trick photography, and you could put Indy in the map room from Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this is Bob from Total Toy Recon. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking out all this stuff. And this is a great Indiana Jones figure, and I highly recommend picking one up if you can. If you can find them, or get them on the secondary market. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like. Share it. Help me out as best as you can. And, have a good night.